Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Yes, it's about that time of the night where we speak of whatever that is happening in that court. But if one thing should be said, what currently we are witnessing in that court, it could be amounting into badgering the witness, which is very, 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 very serious. And they should be, our judge should be looking into that. Our judge should be saying something as he has been with the witness. But behold, and just behold, Wafetu, no way this judge will ever see such when it comes to the witnesses of the states. And don't be surprised, because consistently, without failure, this man has been proving us all right. We have turned into proper sangomas of that court just because of his behavior. We have turned into analysts of law just because of such behaviors. But worry not, that is actually helping us to become the experts, as we know that with time, then you become experts of whatever that you are doing. So we have reached that point where we feel that we probably deserve the title of being called experts one way or another, right?
Yes.
But before we go there, Emil, it is happening around this world, and indeed it is happening. If it rains, it pours from Mchunu. It does not stop, and it keeps on raining, because Cat Mahlala is one hell of a person that will not be put into bed by any denouncing. He keeps on coming, and he keeps on pouring and pouring and pouring, and he never stops. So I hear on the streets of Twitter and the streets of social media at large that there is a recording that has been played that seems to suggest that no, Mchunu was fully aware he was not helping South Africa, but he was doing that to help Cat Mahlala and the rest. In fact, they say he is the one who actually, one of the people that pushed for Mahlala to actually sue the SAPS. That is alleged. Emily, you probably know the story better than me. Greet our people and just tell us, as usual, generally, what you hear from your side.
Madlanga Commission. They played a 6-hour recording. Apparently, on that recording, it's Cat Mahlala speaking to someone, and they are saying that he was saying a lot of things in that recording. He has shared information that the person who was pushing him to open that case of a stolen Rolex watch, it was, according to him, allegedly Senzo Mchunu. So Senzo Mchunu is saying he doesn't know anything, right? And he doesn't know Cat Mahlala. He doesn't know KT Mulif. He doesn't know none of these people.
Yes.
But Gumadlanga Commission is coming out that these people know him. These people know him. Okay.
Which is a huge blow for anyone running for any position higher than what he has obtained as a minister. Indeed, it is a huge blow. And we look at it in that manner. And obviously, those are still the allegations at this point in time. Because I think he's going to come and denounce that, right? Because Cat Mahlala cannot bring evidence, or maybe Cat can bring evidence. But it doesn't also stop raining. It doesn't pause at all for Sbia also, who has been portraying this image of a policeman who is clean, because now those allegations did not stop there, right?
And remember, Begitele had said that on the 6th, where before he got arrested, he had came to him. Before he came to him, he said he had a meeting with Senzo Mkuno.
And everything seems to be aligning properly.
Not only that, on the same day before he got arrested, apparently, allegedly, not even apparently, allegedly, he was at a meeting with Ria Piecha at her house. Ria Piecha is the former police commissioner. And Ria Piecha has just put out a statement denouncing all of that. She's saying she doesn't know who Ket Matlala is. She doesn't know who the man is.
Where I come from, music maskandi industry bambiza ngendlaba ephika. Uyabona uKet manje has turned out allegedly to be that indlaba ephika. Impela, it keeps on coming and it does not stop. It does not stop there.
And because of what is coming out in the Madlanga Commission, the ad hoc committee has pushed for Ket Matlala to go to the ad hoc committee. They're even talking about beefing up security. They are adamant and determined to get Vusi Matlala to Cape Town to go to Parliament and testify. A lot of people are against this, though. They're like, no, it's not a good idea.
It should be online. It should be online.
It should be virtually, right?
It should be virtually.
And people are saying it's not a good idea, for one. And also the fact that, isn't this going to interfere with his criminal cases, if there are any?
It will. He can actually put himself in more troubles. They will have to tell him that anything he says
will be used against him.
Or will be used against him in the court of law. And indeed it will. But unfortunately, what we are going through is a roller coaster of politicians' entanglement, and it goes back to the SAPS entanglement. But we hear from the streets also of social media that there is now a position that seems to have been taken by Fidel Adams, in the sense that now he says he wants to go and open the case against Mkhwanazi for lying under oath about Begitele. And as we have said for several times, that wait and behold, things will eventually dish out, as they usually do, and they are dishing out. I don't want to say more, but I have been saying that it's colder outside if you are one of those people who have been one way or another probably being used to serve a certain purpose, perhaps against your likes of. Because now here's the question: if indeed Ket is saying that, what does it say about the cases that the head of intelligence is actually facing in SAPS? Now, should they still hold? And what about the people who were holding that position, that this man is a criminal? What do we make of them as people that were claiming, and indeed claiming, as the minister also was or has been claiming also, that this is for us and this is for the good cause, that they had to shut down that PKTT team. And now things are rolling and are said left and right that seem to really denounce that theory. But we wait, as we usually say. I have seen many people who are followers and believers of the theory of the other side. They have been quiet. Rather, they have digressed to talk about other things. And it is very funny that when it gets hot, to that point, people start now moving sideways. When Kwanazi was speaking, they were really, really, really up in arms, and they were fighting left and right any theory that comes in that ad hoc or in Madlanga Commission. Now it comes back to the question, are we really having people that are fighting for us, and all people are being used in our name to actually serve certain purposes? And that's a question that I leave with you as a South African to actually digest and look at it, exactly what is going on and what is really happening in this world, where people are standing on certain positions and you cannot seem to defend certain propaganda and then come back and claim that you are clean. It cannot be that you are defending a certain propaganda and you claim you are clean. It can be, unfortunately. It's either you are dirt because you went to the mud, and you must accept that you have actually has been in contact with that mud, and we should look at you as such and analyze you as such. People have been coming here swearing. Some I even had to remove because they are naming people that we never talked about, but they are saying we are against the so-called truth. Here is the truth unfolding. I'm wondering where they stand right now as things stand, and we still remain on the wrong side as usual. And that's where we normally finally win, as we stand on the wrong side. We normally win from our wrong side. But let us wait for these things to unfold. Let's continue.
There's also an allegation. Kutiwa Umatlala said that he gave Sbia 2 million.
That's the allegation I was talking about Sbia. Yes.
And then he bought a lodge, allegedly. Kutiwa kunama impala I-10 khona lapho, and the impalas today are no longer there. Kutiwa allegedly impala zidliwe. Angazi kanjani.
Those are things that we have to see. And
this is a lot.
I
was not ready for these revelations. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. This is a lot.
It's a lot. And we keep on babazing. We keep on with our mouth open. But it does happen. And when it rains, it pours.
Every day is gaqa per second. Yesterday, I even forgot to tell you guys. Kuthiwa Wangwan Maumela had purchased a car worth 52 million. 52 million.
What kind of a car is that one?
Patong.
Can it fly?
How are guys? No.
Can it really fly?
Maybe it flies. I don't. I was just like baffled. Like 52 million.
We are suffering, and indeed we are suffering. Other people are living their dream life.
How?
We are suffering. Other people are enjoying life. It's very unfortunate that enjoyment might have stemmed from our own tears. That's a very unfortunate part. If indeed that is the case. Snakes beer, thank you very much. uNkulunkulu abusise izandla nje. Siyabonga. Elize iphayo. Sibonge kakhulu. Yes. Let's press the like button. uNkulunkulu futhi anibusise nani nje ngokuba nathi nisilandele nokuba nje nathi nilokhu nipressile lama like button. Kukubi kumnandi. We fight, we don't fight, but it remains like that because we are here to see what is wrong and what is right.
Hi. Ashonekon.
I see.
So today was a day of what I would call monkey tricks. Where you ask the witness confusing questions and hope that maybe they'll contradict themselves, and then use that contradiction to tell that, here you didn't remember this, now you remember it, so you're a liar. Very very desperate moves that I saw today, and I'm baffled. So there was a late start in the proceedings this morning, and usually you know that when it's late, we usually get some kind of a report coming from the reporters that are sitting there in court. Some of them who are active on social media, they will hint as to what is happening. But today it was total silence. There was no update whatsoever. I will exclude the SABC reporter Griselda Lewis because I didn't see her in court, so maybe she wasn't present. But the ones that were there, Aisha, they couldn't give a two about updating us. And have you noticed that ever since MUZI stood on the stand and testified, they're not reporting on it. I don't know if I'm the one maybe who's missing the highlights.
The robust reporting has reduced.
It's silence. It's crickets. It's unusual. I just thought that I bring it up. And the rumored reason also for the late start was that apparently they were waiting for Ntanzi. It looks like maybe he didn't make the doctor's appointment yesterday after they knocked off, so he attended to the doctor this morning. Those were rumor. That was the rumored reason. It's not a fact. I'm not sure. Right? So Baloyi also started out with going back to the evidence of the pointing out. He referred Sibia to the testimony of Hadebe, who testified that he's attached to the organized crime division in Rustenburg. And he said that Hadebe would have traveled all the way from Rustenburg to Alberton if he did not indicate to Brigadier Gininda that you were prepared to make a pointing out. At this point, Ramusipili stood to object to this line of questioning. He said that the witness is not privy to the telephone communication that happened between Brigadier Gininda and Colonel Hadebe. Now, to expect the witness to comment on what they were discussing when he says for the uptime time that he was not there. And he said it's more appropriate to ask Gininda that question. It is unfair to the witness. And Baloyi said that this is to show the improbabilities of his version. He can comment if he so chooses. Ramusipili said, if Mr. Baloyi says to the witness, I put it to you as a preposition that Hadebe left Rustenburg, you had told Gininda X, Y, and Z, then I'll sit down. That's a different preposition. And then the judge said, then when he says, why would Hadebe travel all the way from Rustenburg if he did not speak to Gininda that he'll be assisting him to supervise the taking or the pointing out, the taking of the pointing out? While Baloyi ultimately rephrased the question, he changed it to, are you suggesting that Hadebe traveled all the way from Rustenburg to Alberton without you having indicated your preparedness to make the pointings out? Sibia said, as to where Hadebe was coming from, I have no knowledge of that. But what I am saying is that I never spoke to Gininda, and there was never an agreement we came to that I was going to do a pointing out. I never spoke to Gininda on the 4th, which he mentions. While Baloyi said Sibia's version of being taken to the municipal area at Vosloorus on the 5th of June 2020, the very same place they took him to on the 31st of May 2020. He said, we have just read the diary and the version of Brigadier Gininda that Sergeant Mohani was instructed to take you from Valeria police station to Alberton. Is there a reason why Sergeant Mohani would have deviated from the instruction to take you to Vosloorus municipal area instead? Sibia said that the question would be appropriate to Mohani, but what he's saying is that he was taken from Valeria police station to the municipal area. Baloyi then asked him during cross-examination by Advocate MNISI to Brigadier Gininda on the 5th of June 2025, Brigadier Gininda denied the assault and said that he was not there when he was moved from Valeria to Alberton police station. He said that he did not get a briefing that he was taken to Vosloorus. His understanding and report back that he got from Sergeant Mohani was that He booked out the suspect as per his directive at SAPS Alberton. Gininda said he gave Mogani Colonel Hadebe's number to him to liaise with him, and he also gave Colonel Hadebe Mogani's contact numbers. Well, Sibia's response was that when Gininda says accusations, it's not accusations, it's what happened to him. He is speaking on what happened to him. He said that he was taken from Valeria to Vosloorus, where they assaulted him. From Vosloorus, they then went to Alberton. If there was an AVL, it would state that the cars left Valeria and went to Vosloorus, and from Vosloorus, they went to Alberton. But by some luck, there is an OB that states that at what time they arrived at Alberton after he had left Valeria police station at a particular time. But there's an OB entry actually that says that I left 8 o'clock at Valeria, and at Alberton I got there at 12. So literally they took 4 hours on a drive that was supposed to take no less than, one would say, maybe if there's that heavy traffic, of which was not there because it was COVID, 1 hour max to drive from.
On a normal day, a court would have been seeking clarity as to say, why did that happen?
Yeah,
from the people.
On a normal court.
Yes, on a normal court. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, in that court, people are held with the kids' gloves and then they're let go. And then you find a witness being badgered with questions 120 times, and no one say anything because they are criminals. They're so dark, these people, that it's disgusting the judge, perhaps.
It took 4 hours on a trip that takes less than an hour with freeway, no traffic, of which was the case.
It was under those circumstances of the strict rules of being at home.
Yes. There was no traffic. There was not many cars on the road. So why 4 hours? They didn't give the explanation of why they took 4 hours.
No, they didn't.
And the court doesn't care to hear from them why they took so long. But when MUZI is telling them that these people took me to Vosloorus before they took me back to Alberton, so it means they drove all the way to Vosloorus and then came back to Alberton,
which would make sense.
Well,
MUZI is basically accounting for the 4 hours missing.
Yeah, he's the only one who's accounting for those 4 hours. The police officers who came to testify didn't. It was just shrugged and brushed under the carpet. And when the defense would inquire, remember, Mkome Zulu tried to inquire.
Even the AVLs decided not to be available for certain reason, one reason or another.
Yes.
I like the fact that he keeps on referring at it to say that if it was there, you will be able to see what I'm saying.
So Baloy then said, is it correct that you passed Alberton when you go to Vosloorus? In other words, Vosloorus is after Alberton. Sbia said he left Valeria and was taken to Vosloorus to the municipal area, and then from there they took him to Alberton. That is why in Valeria it appears that he was booked out at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at Alberton he arrived at 12 o'clock noon, because they started at Vosloorus before they went to Alberton. Now, Baloy asked, is it correct that you first pass Alberton before you get to Vosloorus? This is literally a repetition.
Such a silly question. I'm sorry to say. A very silly question. The state has not made any means to find out what took their witnesses so long. There is no explanation.
No.
But MUZI is expected, and I must recommend him for remembering 3 roads before you reach Vosloorus. 3 roads from Vereria police station before you reach Vosloorus. And why shy umvana simple like that?
Hey, I was also like shocked. I was like, Yabana Mina, I'm very bad with roads.
Let us be robust on these likes.
So it also means that as they were doing what they were doing to him, he was observing. There was nowhere else to look except for trying your best to memorize and recollect the roads.
You keep on looking outside, most
Looking
probably.
for the board,
The
looking
uncomfortable
for the sign.
situation that you're
Yes.
at.
You are scared
So
for your life.
you actually keep on looking looking
For
outside
clues.
where there is hope.
You look at the
So
board. You look
based
at
on that-
the only thing that makes sense of why he could have recalled those roads like that is if indeed he memorized them like his life depended on it. Don't know if it makes sense.
It does make sense.
So, Sibia responded to Baloi's question, and he said that is not correct, and Baloi was being tricky. He said, "What is their position as far as you know?" Sibia said, "Even now, I'm saying that they left Valeria straight to Vosloorus. They left from Valeria straight to Vosloorus, right? They didn't make a stop anywhere." And he said, "Vosloorus is where I was assaulted. Then they went to Alberton." Baloi then said, "When you went past Vosloorus, did you go past Alberton or Alberton off ramp?" Sibia said that it seems like the prosecutor is tricking him.
Yes, he is now expected to know the whole map of Johannesburg.
Which road goes where and how? Which road goes to what city or township? Which road goes to Hebatung? So he's saying that it feels like he's being tricked in the way that they're asking, because he stated that they left Valeria and went straight to Vosloorus, and from there they went to Alberton. So Baloi then said, "No, that is not the aim. What we are trying to establish from you is the time of Alberton when you traveled from Pretoria to your first pass by Alberton, then Vosloorus, or what is the exposition?" Well, MNISI stood at this point to say that he thinks the state wants to find out from Mr. Sibia as to when you travel from Pretoria to Alberton, would you normally pass at Vosloorus. It depends on whether this witness knows what road would normally be used when one travels from Pretoria to Alberton. And he said that he thinks the first question should be, Mr. Sibia, have you used the road from Pretoria to Alberton? And which road was it? And which areas did you pass? What will be a fair question? It's like when I'm asking Mr. Ramusepeli that when he goes to KwaNdebele from Pretoria, would he pass a place known as Gendreef? I don't know. Okay, I could have pronounced it wrong. I don't know the place. Well, Mr. Ramusipili, would you not know? He says Mr. Ramusipili would not know that place because he's never been to KwaNdebele from Pretoria, and that's a very unfair question, and I agree. This example is perfect. I don't know where the Gendreef is. Okay? I've never left Pretoria and went to the road leading to KwaNdebele. I've never. Oh, you understand? So it would be tricky. It's a tricky question. It is an unfair question. You are asking him something that he doesn't know. And Baloi conveniently forgets that these people are not from Pretoria. These people do not reside in Pretoria. You took them from Tembisa.
You dispositioned them from
So
where they
why
reside.
must they know which road leads where from Pretoria? Why? You are wasting our time. I need you to sit down because this cross-examination is lousy. It's embarrassing. Why isn't he embarrassed? I'm stressed. I'm stressed every time I have to sit this week. I'm irritated. And he doesn't want to sit down. If you have run out of questions, you've run out of questions. Accept defeat. Why doesn't he want to accept defeat?
It doesn't come easy. Defeats does not come easy. And only legends know how to accept defeats and learn from them.
Oh God. So Baloi rephrased the question and now he asked it like this. Which road did you travel to get to Vosloorus on the 5th of June 2020? Sibia said it was R21 to R24 to N3. And then they off-ramped to Vosloorus and went to the municipal area. Baloyi asked if they passed by the Alberton off-ramp, and Sibia said they went straight to Vosloorus. There were many places that they passed. And Baloyi said again, that is why I'm asking specifically about Alberton. Did you go past the Alberton exit from the N3? Well, Sibia said, I don't know how I'm expected to explain this because I'm saying something straight. We left Pretoria straight to Vosloorus. It's like now this line of questioning is oppressing me to give this court an impression that what I'm saying is not correct because I'm stating what happened on that day, that we left here to there. Right?
That is called badgering.
That's badgering right there. Well, Sibia confirmed that from Vosloorus they went back to the N3. So, asked if they traveled north in the direction of Alberton, Sibia said he would not know about the north because they proceeded straight to Alberton. Baloyi said your version is that on the 5th of June, you were taken to the municipal area, the same area.
Interpreter icon. Me interpreter.
I don't listen to her. I'm
I
sorry.
want that shame. He might actually even make MUZI answer wrong questions because some of the questions they are just out of line.
I just zone out whenever she's speaking. I don't pay. I don't waste my energy. My energy is wasted, not even wasted, but put more on MUZI's answers because those are the ones I care about. What comes from his mouth. I think that's what I'm more observant on. Hey, the interpreters have made me make mistakes.
But
in
it's
the
unfortunate that witnesses have to listen to them for them to answer. They have to rely on those people who cannot comprehend, or in fact, interpret Zulu properly. Certain things are just asked wrongly, and you're like, wow, that's not what was asked.
Ish. Well, Baloyi said your version is that on the 5th of June you were taken to the municipal area, the same area you were taken to on the 30th of May 2020, and Sibia said yes, and Baloyi said this is the same place where an inspection in loco was carried out on the 4th of July 2025. Sibia said yes, it was where he took the court to point it out. And Baloyi said, you remember during the inspection in loco, we saw that there's a boom gate when you proceed to the place that you pointed out. There's access control. Well, Sibia said, I remember that place and the boom gate. As the prosecutor was also there, he did not see his car getting stopped before entering the premises.
Meaning
and
the
then
boom
someone,
gate is free for all.
yes, and then someone opening it for you and closing it for you as soon as you left. Sibia said that boom gate is always open for everyone to enter. It has never been monitored.
It was a boom gate.
Well, Sibia could not recall the number of cars that were there, specifically on the 5th of June 2020 when he was taken from Valeria police station to Vosloorus, there at that same parking lot where they assaulted him allegedly and then taken to Alberton. He says he doesn't remember how many cars on that day specifically were there because even the officers were different. I think it was Hadebe and others. But it was EMPD officers. So, as well as the number of police officers, he said that there were many. He doesn't recall how many they were. And Baloyi held him hostage to an estimation that he made under evidence in chief.
It's an estimation
of more or less 10. Sibia said that if someone says it like that,
it's not a number, more or less. It's not a number.
It's an indication that they don't remember. That's why MNISI asked him to estimate. But Baloyi, he was not letting go. It was like a dog that just found a piece of meat.
Of nothing, basically. Piece of bone.
Nothing. A piece of rubber to chew on, but not get full. Well, Baloy asked if he uttered that statement during the inspection in loco. Sibia said, I did say that I don't remember, and Mr. MNISI said I should estimate how many there were. Sibia said he was estimating, and he doesn't remember how many they were. It can be more or less 10. Well, Baloy said, but did you use the number 10 to estimate? And Nisi objected at this point and said, this is very unfair. The witness specifically said, I said in the inspection in loco day that I don't remember. Mr. MNISI said, can you estimate? And that is how he came up with that number. The state is referring to now, I don't know what is the purpose of this, because... And then he said, let me just tell this court that it does not give us or me the pleasure to keep on objecting to this kind of questioning, because that does not build my legal prowess. At least I need to object to things that are very substantive. Not to this, my lord. I am saying this with the greatest respect I have for my colleagues.
This is amounting into a tantrum, Jay, of some sort of a lawyer who's angry and trying to find something to pin.
This was a drag. This is a drag. So he said if I should stand up here and object, at least I should be objecting to something that is building on my legal prowess and legal experience, not what is happening in here. So indirectly telling him that your cross-examination is pap. Saying your cross-examination sucks. It is below the bar. It is the ground. It is at the ground, at the gutter. Well, Baloy said that he won't comment on that. He's just commenting on what the witness said during the inspection in loco. And the judge was quiet and he continued asking his questions. Well, Sibia said that he used the number 10 to estimate, and that was that. Yeah, Sibia is going through it. All strength to him. We'll keep him in our prayers. He must be strong. He mustn't crack. As much as this is annoying, but he must keep calm and keep his emotions. It will come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. I know he would like to drag this all the way until adjournment, and it's now time to take a break. I have a feeling that he wants to stretch it until it's time for recess. I think that's what is going on here. It's like you want to drag this cross-examination until recess. Well, he went on to repeat how Sibia said he cuffed and made, or how he was cuffed and made to sit down and was actually assaulted, put a plastic bag covered over his face, and he was kicked while he was rolling on the ground in that municipal area. This is, I don't know how many times Baloy has repeated this. He is saying it over and over and over and over and over with no regard to the emotional aspect of the person that he keeps mentioning this to over and over and over, which is why this is badgering. As much as he may not want, and he's having a softer approach, and he's acting like he's not raising his voice. Of course he's not raising his voice, but it doesn't exonerate him from the fact that he's badgering the witness. You can't ask a witness like 5,000 questions, the same questions for 7 days. It's ridiculous. Well, Sibia said that they only started cuffing his feet in 2022. And regarding the pointing out, Baloy asked, we've only earlier put it to you that the evidence of Brigadier Gininda and Colonel Hadebe is mainly the arrangements that were already made on the 4th of June 2020. Are you then suggesting that on the 5th of June 2020 they were assaulting in order to go and have you do a point out where Mr. Senzo Meyiwa died? Sibia repeated once more that he never had any communication with Gininda regarding the pointing out. Even now, he does not know where Senzo Meyiwa died. And Baloy went again to Mgomezulu's evidence when he was cross-examining Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe, Mgomezulu asked, will you not dispute that the accused was transported from Valeria to Alberton police station on the 5th of June 2020? And Hadebe said, yes, he won't. Well, Mgomezulu asked to approach accused number 1, and because he had his hand up with accused number 1 at the time, and when he returned after receiving instructions from MUZI, and he said, this is what he said, you guys, but I can't believe how the state twisted it. The accused was transported from Valeria to Vosloorus police station, and then he said to Vosloorus, where he was assaulted. That part right there, you can tell that he said Vosloorus police station and then corrected himself and said Vosloorus instead, because even he was not sure about the description that Sibia was giving him at the time. Yes, Sibia was referencing the police station to say that this municipal area is in the same vicinity as that police station. You may pass through the police station to get to it or come back from it, but I did see this police station when they were transporting me, and because I'm from Vosloorus, I know this area. You understand? But then Mgomezulu at the time, I would say he did not have a full picture, but he was translating and putting onto the record exactly what his client was telling him. Right? And this is where he came in and said Vosloorus police station, and then he said no, Vosloorus, where he was assaulted. So Baloyi then said, so the preposition here is that you were transported from Valeria to Vosloorus police station. So if I say something, which happens all the time because I speak a lot, okay, I speak with you guys, and sometimes I do make a mistake, and then I say something else after, which is correct, to cancel out the wrong thing that I've said prior, right? But no, Baloyi, Advocate Baloyi takes the mistake and completely dismisses the correction and then runs with that mistake and says that is what Mgomezulu said. Lying on people that are deceased. I've never seen anything like this. Yes, he's all holding on to Mgomezulu's cross-examinations, evidence in chief. And we all know that Mgomezulu had, if he had still been alive, he would not even dare do what he's doing. But he's doing it. And Mgomezulu is not here to come and speak for himself. And he's taking complete, full advantage. Even twisting what Mgomezulu said. I have never seen anything like this. This is embarrassing. Why is he not embarrassed? Why? If he doesn't have any more questions, it's okay to sit down and lose gracefully. Why? Why are we being put through this? I am so worried about the NPA in general. I am very worried that should anything happen to me and I'm going to need NPA to represent me, I will be given such quality of presentation. It is worrying and it is troubling. Okay? It's worrisome. You cannot have a seasoned prosecutor behaving the way Advocate Baloyi is behaving in that court right now. It is embarrassing. And that's my opinion. Well, Baloyi said that, so the preposition here is that you were transported from Valeria to Vosloorus police station. MNISI objected and said, no, that is not the preposition. The preposition is that you were transported from Valeria to Vosloorus police station. Vosloorus, where you were assaulted. It doesn't say you were transported from Valeria to Vosloorus police station. Then it ended there. That's not what it read from the record where Mr. Mgomezulu put that preposition, which is true, right? Which is a fact. It's true. But then Baloyi said that he does not understand the objection of Advocate MNISI. Yay! Well, the judge asked Sibanda to read it because he was now saying that the accusation is that Mr. Baloyi is not reading what is written or typed on the record, completely changing the objection that MNISI is raising. MNISI is not saying he did not read correctly. He read it correctly, but he just decided to take it out of context. That's what the objection is about. It's not about whether he can read correctly or not. This is so disturbing. It's so disturbing because when things like this happen, where the judge conveniently twists the objection of Advocate MNISI and makes it to say something he did not say, is where I'm reminded of the very same moment when Gomezulu was in that court causing havoc and telling them what they needed to hear, but it's clear they did not hear it. They were not paying attention. He told them that this thing of having the judge always covering for the state is not good. And the judge was up in arms. He was upset. So Sibanda then read that record. He read it, and it said to Vosloorus police station. Then it said to Vosloorus where he was assaulted, right? But the judge completely ignored that to Vosloorus. That was the letter, and took Vosloorus police station and bent it down and was writing as if he's writing that in his notes. So he's going to say that it was at Vosloorus police station, and that's on that. That's on that. So Sibia responded to all of this, and he said that he was never taken to Vosloorus police station. He said to Vosloorus. But what is written in there is because at first his name also in the diary of Brigadier Kilinda was written as Moses Sibia, to show that a person who wrote this, it can be that they made a mistake, because he told Mgomezulu about a municipal area where he showed the court that is where he got assaulted on the 30th of May and the 5th of June 2020. I'm just imagining the explanation and how it was. Maybe he did say, it's a Lendau, it's a Vosloorus. This place is indeed at Vosloorus, and it is close to the police station, right? And you know, he was trying to visualize. He's saying it's close to the police station. It's literally the same like gold spot complex type of, you know, area. Even though from where he was assaulted, you have to walk around and then go to the police station. But they are not far apart. You understand? So he was definitely referencing the police station to give Mgomezulu a picture of what he was talking about. But seeing Advocate Baloyi twisting it like this, knowing damn well that Mgomezulu is no longer here to defend himself or to he wouldn't dare do this while he was still alive. I bet you he wasn't gonna do this. So then Mgomezulu made that preposition after taking instructions from Sibia according to the record, and Baloyi said if Mgomezulu made a mistake, did he correct him? MNISI then objected. We heard Advocate Baloyi there saying, did you hear him, Mr. Nas?
I heard.
I was like, I cannot ignore this. MNISI striking a nerve. So he said that he thinks it's unfair for the state to keep saying that Mgomezulu made a mistake, fast forwarding the very same area that Mr. Sibia testified about. He tried to give the description of the very same area to me. This is MNISI saying that, and he said he did not understand it. He tried his best, but he couldn't understand. So he couldn't get exactly what Sibia was trying to say or explain to him this area where he says he was assaulted. And he was speaking about a police station, right? like I was explaining earlier, can you imagine how he was trying to explain Sibia at that time? And Sibia speaks fast, right? He speaks fast. So can you imagine Gomezulu at the time in the trial, within a trial, and he was raising his hand up and he had to go. We all saw it. So in that short space of time, in the whispering, he has to get everything that he's saying and then come back and put it on record as best as he can. And Gomezulu put it well. He put it as best as he could. But now, I don't understand what is going on with Advocate Baloyi in Sibanda there. I don't get it. And he was speaking also, MNISI was saying about the police station, and he was speaking about a municipal area, a golden spot, that there's a housing of a lot of places, which is the reason why ultimately at the end of the day, he said for the court to understand what Mr. Sibia was referring to, it's best for the inspection in loco to be had. And the court gave correct.
And they wanted to use a drone.
Yes, they wanted to use a drone instead so that they can cut out the images and only demonstrate the images. With the images, aerial satellite images, you wouldn't see exactly what's going on there. You wouldn't see, would you? So Mr. Sibia was trying in the best of his ability to explain. And he said that to keep saying that the place is a police station is a misnomer. Baloyi then said, I don't know if Mr. MNISI is arguing against the record. We are going to, with what stands in the record and the answer of the witness, I really don't understand. Well, here's the problem. Mr. Anonymous, I just read that part that Baloyi was using. It said Vosloorus police station, and then Gomezulu said Vosloorus. So he corrected it from Vosloorus police station to Vosloorus, right? And then Baloyi and the judge decide to conveniently pick Vosloorus. If you've had a slip of the tongue and you said something, we do it all the time.
Yeah, but he did it even with MUZI. Just when MUZI said, and then he said something else. The RT, is it the RT? TRT, yes.
We do it all the time when we speak, right? That's what happens, especially because English is not our mother tongue. Even Baloyi himself, he does it. So to take that and now run with it, is that how things are done in law? Is that how people get convicted and go to jail?
Not according to Rob versus Hepworth.
So then MNISI said there are so many things in the record that in one way or another the context needs to be understood. So if Mr. Baloyi is saying that I'm arguing against the record, that is his own understanding, which is wrong, because he's approaching this whole scenario in a piecemeal approach in his analysis of this whole scenario. If the record wants to say the place where Mr. Sibia was assaulted as is the police station, then there would not have been any need for this court to make an order to have an inspection in loco to see for ourselves what is that Mr. Sibia was trying to explain. Well, Baloyi said Mr. MNISI will be well advised to argue these points when the time comes. It's the opportunity of the state to cross-examine, and we are entitled to cross-examine on what stands on the record. If he has got his own interpretation on wants to persuade,
to make sure that any slip of a tongue is recognized, and we are going to dwell on it.
Diabolical. He said if he wants to go on his own interpretation or wants to persuade the court to put a certain interpretation, then by all means at the end of the case. But at this point, it's the state's opportunity to test the version of the accused, and this is what they are doing. The judge said, okay.
As usual.
Okay.
Wagi, welcome.
Well, Sibia responded and said he has never said Mgomezulu made a mistake, and he maintains that he was not assaulted by the Vosloorus police station. Even on that statement where and how he was assaulted was not even written down. Gininda said he is Moses in his diary, Sibia, and the prosecutor fixed it and said MUZI Sibia. It means the prosecutor is also implicating him in what Gininda is implicating him in. Gininda is saying he was talking to Moses Sibia, and the prosecutor never asked Gininda to fix it. But today the prosecutor is the one saying Gininda did not mean Moses, he meant MUZI Sibia. So Baloyi asked MUZI for the teams of police, and he said the teams of police that he said assaulted him. Sibiya said it was TRT, and then he fixed it. You know, he caught it. He erased it. But Baloyi took it and ran with it. He said TRT, and said it was not TRT, it was traffic cops. He backtracked, in other words. He backtracked. He said TRT and said not TRT, man. Traffic cops and the ones in private clothing or civilian clothing. So Baloyi then pressed on that. The fact that he mentioned TRT. And Sibiya said, he said traffic cops. Sibiya said, he said a wrong word. And it's not like that is what he wanted to say. He wanted to say traffic cops. That they are the ones who assaulted him. Baloyi completely ignores it and says, but why did you just deny that you used the word TRT? My blood was boiling at this point. And I couldn't understand, Uguti, what is going on. Well, MNISI objected, right? He said, objection, that is very petty. This is always a slip of the tongue. There is always a slip of the tongue. It's human nature. A slip of the tongue does happen. On many occasions, the state would say something that it did not intend to say simply because it was a slip of the tongue. Baloyi said MNISI was answering questions on behalf of the client. Can he just allow the state to continue with cross-examination and let the client answer for himself? And the record will demonstrate that he used the word TRT, then denied it. He said, we are just asking him why he denied it. Oh my God. Hey. Wavelelo Sibiya. Yo. Then Sibiya said it's because he did not want TRT. He did not say TRT. What he wanted to say was traffic cops. His intention was not to say TRT. That's why he took it back and said not TRT, traffic cops. Baloyi completely ignored that part. And he's hoping the record will ignore it too.
Impossible. Can this record? Another is typed. Let's press the like button, guys, please.
Hi. Well, Sibiya conceded that TRT was not at Vosloorus municipality area on the 5th of June 2020. Yazi, in my opinion, Baloyi was being diabolical here. And it can only speak to the level of desperation. All I see is desperation. Nothing else, you know. And to even bring up TRT, on that specific day, TRT was not there. The 5th of June, when they took him to Vosloorus before the pointing out, TRT was not there. But not to mistake that in general, TIT was not there. TRT was there at some point. When he got arrested on the 30th, TRT was there. TRT, we're talking about Jonathan. We're talking about that SWAT team that got disbanded. You see what happens when teams get disbanded randomly? The evidence now is not available in court. Their AVLs have not showed up in court. Do you see what is happening with disbandments of these police, SWAT and tactical teams? That is just random.
PKTT.
You see why? When I was against the PKTT and what was happening, it was because of this SWAT that got disbanded.
You lose a lot
then the
of
next
information.
thing, the MUZI are calling for evidences, logbooks and AVLs, and then they're telling them they cannot be retrieved because the team got disbanded. The same thing with Katomena, a killer squad there in KZN. The same thing. A lot of people are crying about that squad there. They're saying they were arresting them wrongfully, including Thabo Beste, who was complaining about it, but he can't get records. of what was happening when they were arresting him.
So this disbandment actually has to do with such things,
Yes.
where things get things just
They
disappear.
disappear. They go away. They get destroyed. You'll never get them again. Once a team is disbanded, you are never going to get that evidence again. It's gone. It's gone. Gone. So now this is happening with MUZI there in court. And it's very painful because one would think those AVLs, Zabo Jonathan, would be helping right now. So then Baloyi went to the proceedings of the 23rd of October 2023 when Mgomezulu said Sibia was tortured and assaulted by the TRT police at Vosloorus, who then took him to Alberton, right? Sibia said he still maintains that he was taken by police in private clothes and traffic cops from Valeria. They took him to Vosloorus, the municipal area where they assaulted him. And I'm sure if you look properly, if you go back, I'm sure Mgomezulu corrected this. But he's not going to take that correction.
No.
He's going to run with the first preposition that he made when he was still consulting with the client. Mgomezulu hopped on this case live. He was getting updates from accused number 1 live.
Yes. Mamulao, thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Mamulao. Thank you.
God bless you. May we press the like button.
Please, guys, press the like button. So Baloyi then said, you confirm that you said earlier on that you were not assaulted by TRT police there at Vosloorus municipality area. And then Sibia said, I never said that I was assaulted by TRT. I said the police who assaulted me are traffic cops and the police who were wearing civilian clothing. Baloyi wanted him to comment on Mgomezulu's record, and Sibia repeated yet again who assaulted him. After Baloyi asked Bia about the home affairs and alcohol testing centers that are there in that gold spot area and where they assaulted him in broad daylight in those offices, he's saying that those offices are closer to where Sibia is saying that he got assaulted. Well, Sibia said they did assault him in broad daylight, and the prosecutor must remember that it was a time of COVID. There was no one testing for alcohol then. People were not consuming alcohol. Were not allowed to consume alcohol. Which is true. So why would an alcohol testing center have people at a time when alcohol was banned in the country?
Those things were shut down where they sell alcohol.
And he also said that in most cases people were not working. Yes, a lot of people were in home. We were told to sit at home. Weren't we?
We were.
So he said, as I've already explained, that there was no one else I saw except for the police that were assaulting me. And now Baloyi wanted to know how many vehicles were there. And MUZI said that he was tired of being asked one question many times because now he doesn't know what is the contention if the prosecutor, in his way of questioning, he did say that he did not remember, and then he doesn't remember the number of cars that were there. And this thing of being asked one question over and over and over again is reminding him of the time where he was being assaulted and asked about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. And he kept telling the police that he did not know anything about the death of Senzo. Even in court, he says, I'm encountering the same issue of being asked one question many times and I answer many times all the time. And he said, in my view, it's like I'm not getting a fair trial in the manner things are happening. It's not a fair trial, Vale, at all. I'm sorry, I can't pretend anymore. This is not a fair trial. What the heck is this? What is Advocate Baloyi? And what is he doing? And I know a lot of people are quiet in the legal fraternity. The NPA is blue ticking everyone. The judicial what is blue ticking everyone. But what is this? This is not nice. This is not nice. It's torture for me to watch this. It's torture. If I had a choice, I wouldn't watch. But you cannot not watch, because then who's going to narrate this? Who's going to reflect on this on their behalf? This is not funny anymore. It's not. Well, Baloyi then said, we have to test your evidence and we have to ask you questions. That is the purpose of this exercise. Well, MNISI said this witness is correct. A question that gets repeatedly asked and the same answer gets repeatedly handed over is called badgering of the witness. That is exactly what the state is doing. He's not asking this question to test credibility. He's only badgering him, and that is unlawful. Baloyi tried to give his explanation and said that it's not badgering. While it is badgering.
It is.
And you know it.
There's no other way around it.
Well, Baloyi then moved on to Sibiya, saying that he rolled on the ground when he was assaulted and he asked if his clothes were dirty. Sibiya said they were dirty prior, and Baloyi asked him dirty from what? And Sibiya said from the 30th he was being assaulted. So 30th, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had the same clothes on from being arrested. So Baloyi said that he wanted to know what made his clothes from rolling on the ground dirty. Well, Sibiya said it was because he fell and was being kicked. So Baloyi now went to the photos of the day of the pointing out.
Who said the camera they are using is the best camera that can capture such? Does he understand? Does he know the lens of the camera?
Do you have any knowledge of photography, perhaps?
You
understand? Have you done a photography course?
Do you know? You can use.
Do you know the lighting that was there?
And
the lighting they provided
and
as
you
well.
expect to get a quality of a Sony maybe f4 lens.
Did they have a DSLR lens?
You know, those are things that you have to look at.
There is a lot. I know things look simple from the outside. It's just a camera. No, it's not just a camera. It can never be just a camera. Okay? Never. I'm a camera fan. I'm a camera, unfortunately. And the quality matters.
It matters.
So Baloyi now went to those photos of the day of the pointing out and he asked if the photos were taken after his assault. Sibiya confirmed that it was on the same day. So after the long adjournment, instead of continuing, Baloyi now went and attended to the diary of Brigadier Gininda, where he wrote about Moses Sibiya. And MUZI said he's not Moses Sibiya. Then Baloyi was now showing him the diary entries, another diary entry of Gininda, where he said it's MOZI, Mozi Sibiya. That's still not his name, though. I know, you're trying. He's not Mozi.
Not after you dwell on the mistakes that were made by the slip of a tongue.
Hey, now you make mistakes.
Such.
You should have highlighted this, Sibiya. Take you about mshushis now to your wines and put. It's in about another wines.
We highlight it, right? Look at what you are doing. Now that means you are charging me here. You're charging the wrong person. Because
yes,
I'm not Mozi.
Because I'm not Mozi. I'm not Mozi. I'm MUZI. 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 Hey, Sibiya said it's difficult for him to comment on what Gininda's diary is saying, but he's not Mozi. He's MUZI. 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 And as a police officer who's experienced, you know better than to just write MUZI. You would have written his name in full. Isn't that how it works?
It is.
Baloyi went back to the photos of the inspection in Loco and he wanted Sibiya to indicate anything anything on that picture that proves that he got assaulted or that he rolled on the floor. Hey, Batumba Mudi.
What was Oshang?
Yes, I couldn't believe this part. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how can you prove that you rolled on the floor by looking at Yo!
Because if they are not dead, according to him,
it means you didn't roll on the floor.
You know, other cameras can really show you looking all smooth, only to find that you have pimples.
Yes, you have a lot of pimples. We had a camera like that back in the day. It used to polish me. I loved that camera. I looked like a doll. Mr. Anonymous hated it.
It's not a true reflection.
He hated it. It's like, what's wrong with this camera? Yeah, there are cameras like that that can completely remove scars and things and stuff like that. You set it up and it can clean you. It can clean you. So MNISI objected and said the state must first address the court before imposing that question on the quality of the photo. He said, we don't know why the quality of the photo is of such a nature that it can show that what the state wants this witness to show, but it's unfair for the state to ask the witness to show whatever they want to show without having addressed the quality of their photo. And Baloyi said that the quality of the photo was never raised. It was taken on the 5th of June 2020 by Sergeant Mapakela. Well, MNISI said that it might have been so that the quality of the photo was never raised then, but because there's a specific item that the state wants to put to court, it's the state's duty to first put and address the court on the basis of the quality of this photo. Then they are in a position to ask that question. Recall that with these photos in particular, there was never really examining of the contents of it.
The quality of
the
of
quality
yes.
of it. It was never really questioned, even by Mapakela himself when he came to testify and Hadebe. They never really went to the nitty-gritties of the quality, what's inside the photo, the items in the photo. They just said he's pointing out, you can see he's pointing out, and that was it. Right? They just scratched the surface. But now, Advocate MNISI is requesting that the state must be transparent about the quality, since they want to go deep inside the photos and start identifying. Remember, they did it with the pictures of accused number 3.
Yes.
So now the judge was interfering with this process and he didn't want it to happen. He said, yeah, you hear that argument. What section is that? And is there any law pertaining to this aspect if you know it or if I know it? If this is not colluding, then I don't know what it is, Mr. Anonymous. Nimzwile umgomezwile ati colluding, and he lost his marbles. What is this?
I don't know. It looks like colluding.
What is this? What is this? I mean, I don't understand this. I don't understand.
So now there's going to be a law
data
that deals with the quality of the camera. But it's there. We can demonstrate that using 3 cameras. Let's say, for example, we take ZV1 and then we compare it with ZV10 and Sony, and then we take it.
There's also Canon.
We compare it with Canon, M something. Those are different cameras. Those are different make. They have different qualities that you have to look at. Some of them, to actually match maybe say ZV10, you need to change the lens of a Canon to get that quality.
Yes. And you know what the weird thing is? When Baloyi would object as the defense were leading their witnesses or were cross-examining the state's witnesses, every time Baloyi would object or Sibanda would object, they were never asked to quote laws. This is so weird. It's weird. Niyasikhulumisa. We don't like to talk. Aye, this is ridiculous.
Senzo had a point, in my opinion. This man is not really... He's one-sided. He's so one-sided.
He doesn't even try.
He doesn't even try.
He doesn't even try to be objective. He's not trying. He's dismally failing all the time. He just has to put the writings on the wall right there in front of our faces. What is this? Since when do people need to quote laws and authorities when they object? Umthetho wakuphi lona? Because in other courts, this is not happening. Which other court is this happening at?
No, they have to. Let's not go there. They have to. It's fine, but be consistent.
Also, Baloyi, my object now, mfuna ma authority.
That's all we're saying. He hasn't been consistent.
So Baloyi said that it's for the witness to answer questions. They are not aware of any provision in any law that says when counsel asks a question to a witness, then his legal representative can object and raise issues such as quality. He said we've indicated that if there are issues that Mr. MNISI wants to argue that can be argued at the end of the trial, he can, for instance, argue that in light of what he thinks the quality of the photo is, that no reliance should be placed on that, but he cannot speak or object when the state seeks to get an answer from a witness regarding his own testimony. Then he'll be told by Ratam Khwatleng at a later stage why he did not object. He'll be asked, why didn't you object?
I don't think they should call this judge ever again. Whoever
He
called
must
it,
go and
he had a
enjoy
big
his
purpose.
retirement. Never again. It's okay. Don't call him
Don't
to
call
redraft
old judges,
the constitution.
man. Don't bring
call
old
him
judges.
to redraft legislation somewhere. What? Leave him alone. Let him enjoy his retirement. We are good. We are fine. This, let it be the last time he's recalled. Please. Segwanele. Awa. So, later, if he doesn't, Advocate MNISI, get up and address this, later they'll be saying he didn't object. And because he didn't object, it's on record. We've seen this movie before. Many, many times before. You know? And also the weird thing, another weird thing is that Advocate Baloyi objects when the defense is cross-examining or we're cross-examining his witnesses. We saw him get up many, many times when Brigadier Ginindi was giving us essays. Saying, and then the judge would be like, no, let the witness speak. Whatever happened to that? Let the witness speak.
Look, let's continue. Let's not do what he does.
Well, MNISI said, in as much as there is not any law, well, then the judge said, quote me your submission. Is it based on law or what? Is it based on the law? I want to be educated. Well, MNISI said, it is well within my right to raise an objection as a legal representative to raise an objection. And then the judge says, so you don't have any law, authority or legislation. MNISI then said, that is not how you deal with an objection, my lord. And then the judge said, that is how I demand this objection to be addressed. You don't have any law. MNISI said, I'm not saying there is no law, but I'm saying that if the court says it demands that, then I'm saying thank you. Well, the judge said, because any submission that you make in this court must be based on legislative law or section. Keep the same energy for the state when they object, please. Then MNISI said, no, my lord, you've made so many submissions without. And then the judge said, you don't have any law to quote. So this was also, in my opinion, another way of basically stopping him from raising any further objections. It's like a tactic to discourage and let Baloyi continue doing whatever.
And not put something on a record such as that you have actually ruled over such these objections without any law being submitted. That's where MNISI was going.
Yes. And it's a danger to relax. And I know that the other defense counsels will fall for this trap and feel intimidated to not raise objections. But it is dangerous because at a later stage, he uses it against you. You've seen him do it many a times before. So I wouldn't encourage the relaxation of not objecting. Even if he's irritated or what, keep objecting. If something is wrong, don't let it pass. Just object. You are a lawyer. You were trained for this, right? It's your training. So judge then said this witness is at liberty to say that the photo is torn, not visible, whatever he can say, anything, it's within his right. Well, Sibia said that entire pants were dirty that he was wearing on those photos. Even the jacket that he was wearing, he said it is dirty, as well as the shoes that he was wearing were dirty. So in the other picture, Sibia said that his entire clothes on that picture were dirty as well. And Baloyi went now to the occurrence book entry of Alberton, 12 noon, and it was written, suspect handed in for pointing out by Sergeant Mohani, free from visible injuries. Well, Sibia said that he has never killed, but he did sustain injuries. And he's even showed and demonstrated his wrists again, that he was injured on his wrists. Well, Baloyi said the injuries from the cuffs were caused by the chafing, while Sibia said no, it was because he was getting assaulted. Now, Baloyi asked him what type of injuries were on your wrists. Sibia said it was caused by the fact that he was getting assaulted with cuffs on, and when he moved his handcuffs, they would cut him. So he was tied at the back, remember, and every time maybe the kicking would be happening, he would be wanting to run away at the same time. You're having those conflicting feelings, and then you end up the cuffs now cutting you. And he says, as I was being assaulted and rolling on the floor, the cuffs were hurting my hands. As the police officer was lifting me as well from the ground with the cuffs, that really, really hurt me. Well, then Baloyi said, but you say that happened on the 30th of May 2020, and Sibia said yes. Sibia said that even on that entry, Mohani had written saying injuries not visible. He is not saying there's no injury. He is saying there's no injury that he can see, but the injuries were there and he knows it. Well, Baloyi said that it was not clear from Sibia's evidence what happened there, the container or the office, and the office of Hadebe, because apparently he was taken to a container type of office at Alberton. Hadebe was allegedly questioning him there. But Sibia said that he never saw him writing in that office, and he said that he's not in a position to explain where the documents of Hadebe came from. Maybe he is the one who can come and explain where he got those documents from. And Baloyi said that Hadebe filled in that form with him, and he made him sign the 5 pages. Well, Sibia said he couldn't recall what time Hadebe made him sign those papers. Well, Baloyi said the impression is that, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, after the photos were taken, before you got into the vehicle, you signed certain papers. And Sibia said what the prosecutor thinks is what he thinks. He must not think for me. What I said should be taken as is. He must not think that I mean to say this, because if they put their opinion on what I'm saying, it could lead to a wrong direction on their own or of their own opinion. Baloyi read a record where Sibia said that before leaving Hadebe's office, there were papers that he signed. And Sibia said that after taking the photos, there are papers that he signed. He just can't remember at what point he signed them. Well, Sibia confirmed the signature as his, and the thumbprint, he said it could be his. Well, Sibia said everything he was doing with Hadebe was not voluntary, including the signing. And Baloyi asked, did he force you to sign, or did he point you to where to sign? Well, Sibia said, I said everything I did, I was forced by the police to do. Everything I was doing with Hadebe, I was forced to do it. And I did say that I was protecting my life in everything that I was doing. Well, Sibia said he did not give out any information to Hadebe. Baloyi said when Hadebe came to testify, nowhere was it put to him that he forced Sibia to sign or put his signature on those documents. Well, Sibia maintained that he was forced. He said that he was forced. It was going to be, if he was not forced, it was going to be a matter of him leaving Valeria at 8 o'clock and then arriving at Alberton at 9. Well, Sibia maintained that he was coerced to do everything he did with Hadebe by the police, and Baloyi was now misquoting the defense that their main crust was to show what they deemed as shortcomings or defects on the proforma, but it was never disputed or placed to Hadebe that he forced Sibiya to append his signature. Well, MNISI said that was not the main crust of the defense. If the state says that the main crust of the defense is to show that there is a defense in the proforma, that is its own interpretation. The main crust of the defense when Hadebe was cross-examined was to demonstrate that the witness never went out voluntarily to point to those places, and he never pointed anything. All the points he pointed, he was instructed to point at them. That was the defense's crust, and what was being put on the record by the state was something else. And we all remember and recall Mgomezulu putting this on record. Uguti, the main contention here is that Sibiya is saying, you, Hadebe, were telling him, point there, and then you take a picture. Point there. I even made the demonstrations. So Baloyi went to the record of the 24th of October 2023 when Mgomezulu said Sibiya was coerced to a point at a place he did not know. He was never there previously. Well, Sibiya maintained that he was forced. Even Baloyi got a passage to support this. Strange. Baloyi then said it was never put to Colonel Hadebe that he forced you to point down at two places that you pointed out. Well, Sibiya said it's because he was forced and he was assaulted. MNISI said that was a question of terminology. It was put to Hadebe that he did order the witness to point down. The state wanted this witness to use the term coerced, and he thinks that it goes down to the terminology because at no point did the defense ever allege that this witness voluntarily pointed those places out of his own violation. So the operative word has always been he was forced. There could not have been a possibility that for his purpose, then the pressure that was mounted on this witness was relieved, and as and when he started to point, he pointed voluntarily. That is not the understanding of what happened there. And he's saying, I'm begging the state not to misquote the defense in this instance. Well, Baloyi said, I think it will help when Advocate MNISI makes an objection, when he makes an objection to refer to the record or something tangible, using what the judge just did, right? Well, MNISI then said the state is trying to hide behind a finger. He knows what the witness has always been saying, and that was the defense trust that whatever he did on that day, he was coerced. It can't be selective on its approach of what happened on that day as per the defense and per this witness. Baloyi said it was never put to Hadebe that he forced him to point down. He read the record of the 24th of October 2023 where Hadebe said he was never coerced by him and he never reported ever being coerced by anyone else. While Baloyi said the point that he's making is that it was never put to him as Colonel Hadebe, to point out. Well, there was a moment there where the court register went to the judge and then he moved from the judge after whispering something, then went to the interpreter. The interpreter asked to be excused and the judge said, sorry about that. And then he said there's a message that is traumatic that has been told to the interpreter. And it's sad. For that reason, they had to adjourn. Well, Sibiya asked to respond to this question that Advocate Baloyi had ended with, and MNISI told him that he should keep it in his mind until tomorrow, and he will respond to it tomorrow. So we don't know what bad news the interpreter received, but it seems like the judge knows and was giving a heads up there.
Let us press the like button. Let's reach 300 likes, please, for the love of this channel. I'm going to take 2 callers if they are there. Can we take 2 callers today?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, just 2 callers. Quick one. Let's see. Thank you for everyone who has been here. Thank you. See, it was one said. Envelopes. Yes, Ramez. Thank you very much for moderating us well today. Thank you. We appreciate you. Let's press the like button, guys. Let's press the like button. And imagine the way Baloyi and Rata are behaving in this case in front of cameras.
Hey.
How about Gininda without cameras?
Sure.
Hey, my God. Will be. Everything was planned from the word go, in my opinion. This camera movement from the witnesses that are standing there, it was just a plan all along so that people can be comfortable in lying wherever they want to lie, in my opinion. Right, let's press the like button. Guys, we are pressing the like button. We appreciate you for being here. And if there's nothing, it's always good to get a proper sleep so that we can focus. It's difficult listening to this case when you are tired. Very hard. It's a mountain to climb. We will though take you until Friday, obvious. Someone saying thank you for 310 likes. Indeed, Mtoses, thank you. We appreciate you. Let's push the like buttons, guys. We are here for that and listening to what is happening. Thank you, Chuku Anna saying thank you, Sis Emil, Mr. Ano, for good job, guys. I'm so proud of you guys. Really, from this channel we heal. It's really painful. Thank you, Chuku Anna. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
Stole. Press the button, guys. It's free. Yes, totally. It's free. Lucas Nkosi page add the greetings, is Emil and Mr. Anolu. Hey, greetings, Lucas. It's difficult to read your names now. YouTube decided to combine the names. I don't know for what good reason. Ziningobo Aturata Une Dementia allegedly. Let's press the like button. Big George Rata is the worst judge based on his behavior. In this case, he's biased and does not want to listen to the defense. He only listened to Baloyi, which is unfair on the accused. Yes, it is. Bongi Lakei okay, he's talking to Caesar here. But we appreciate you guys just randomly picking people. Just Mayan and Dangane, the judge is there to finish the accused. It's like he got, you know what it is. I'm not gonna finish that.
Senzo's mom said it. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Ngoni Uvere at states always does this and judges always complicity. Yes, that's the feeling we get. Press the like button, guys. One will be tempted to say the judge come to, okay, people bakhuluma abantu that Rata is not, he's not normal, that old man. He never said to Baloyi. All is alleged. Press the like button, Laura, our member. Hello, Laura, how are you? Chose the same lang. Siyabonga mfethu. Sibonge kakhulu. Thank you. Nkulunkulu abusise moderator. Busi Mahlobo. Sekunzima ukufunda amagama lapho Emil. Ahlangene nje impela into eyodwa.
What is YouTube doing?
Angazi, what were they thinking here? What was their logic? They were making it easy to respond to someone. I don't know. If you want to respond, you use at. I don't know. I really don't know. Because I don't see that thing like, but yeah, they did what they did. It's their platform. Let's press the like button. Jeremiah, our member at Morning People, Rabis Saluta, Soda, Rabis Soda, something like that. Thank you, Siyabonga, Jeremiah. One Chukwan I've mentioned. Sizwe 18, Siyabonga. Siyabonga. Azla makhoda one. Ntomzodo Stol. Sibonga kakhulu Ntomzodo. Ukuthi ube khona. Mamlawu siyabonga nafu. Sibonge nje ukuthi usipho drink sibonga uNkulunkulu abusise lapho uthethe khona ukhomo uthi so sad to actually see that many people might have been convicted on such a petty character assassinating questions seeking to discredit the witness accused no merits on their own case. Hey, njalo nje unjalo Patricia Msipha athi but Sbiya is a strong and normal human being can see the truth. Yes, it is true. Banlo Truthfy podcast. Malo is just asking for just taking off where these criminal SAPS people left off torturing Sbiya. He's torturing Sbiya on the international platform. This is evil. Is alleged. Yes. Sibonge kakhulu. Sibonge noba joinile ucwaki lapha joinile membership. Thank you very much. Press the like button, guys. Yeah, Emel, ngiyashaya manje ngiyaphuma. Someone is saying what do you think happens to court interpretation? Asazi banenkinga nje bonke bazanenkinga asazi ke kodwa kunzima nokuthi nje ufile anyhow about these people in that court. I'm not gonna lie, because honestly speaking actually it's a well-oiled machine. It becomes difficult asazi kwenzakaleni phela ngabe nginamanga.
You can't read the room. I'm failing to read the room. I don't even want to have opinions.
The court is late, no explanation or whatsoever that we get, or it's not captured. There are a lot of things that are happening.
Journalists have stopped journalisting all of a sudden.
They were never journalists in any case. They were just
another thing I would like to leave
peddlers.
you with. If you find yourself asking one question over and over and over and over and over again, hoping to get a different answer, it means you did not prepare. It means
you don't have anything to actually ask. The case is poorly prepared itself.
You cannot cross-examine. It reminds me of a quote, I think it's from Albert Einstein, who said, stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to leave you with. And I'm not saying anybody's stupid, and I'm not calling anybody stupid. I'm just saying there's a method to the madness. And this method seems to not have this madness seems to not have a method.
Exactly. Press the like button. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
We
We'll
appreciate
see you tomorrow. Love you.